What's good, my YouTube fam? I'm Retro Gamer Yasuke, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your SNES9X emulator. And for those of you who don't know, that's the Super Nintendo emulator. So let's get started. All right, the first thing you want to do is you want to go to your browser. The next thing you want to do is type in this. Don't worry, I will definitely leave a link in the description below for you. And just as a side note, you will need 7-zip to unzip this file. I've already shown you how to do that in the first tutorial, and I will leave a link in the description for that video as well. All right, we have a few downloads here. We have the 32-bit. This is for older systems. We have a 64-bit. This is for newer systems. And we have the Mac and some other stuff. I'm using Windows, so I'm going to utilize the 64-bit. Newer is, let's say, the last decade or so. All right, now that we have it, we're going to go to our File Explorer. All right, we're going to go to Downloads. As you can see, it is a compressed zip file, as I previously stated. We're going to right click it. We're going to go to Show More Options. We're going to go to 7-zip. And you know how I like to extract it to the file that it's named. All right, we can dispose of this file. Now I'm going to move this, and this part is optional, of course, to my C drive, into my program files, and click continue. From said program files, we are going to open the file that I just dropped there. We are going to right click the application here, and we're going to send it to the desktop. That part's optional. All you really need to do is click on the application. I prefer to keep mine on the desktop. If you keep your games on an external hard drive like I do, remember to plug it up before you open the application. Also, if you have a controller that's either wired or Bluetooth, remember to plug it up. And yes, even an Xbox controller like this can work. I have yet to find a controller that doesn't work. If anybody have any information on any controllers that does not work for this emulator, let us know in the comment section below to help out the fam. All right. Now that we got all of that out of the way, we're going to open it. This prompt here. Well, all we have to do is click this and download it. Where to go to download it? Well, I seem to find it easier to just click this download right here. Very easy, very easy. Open file. Click yes. Accept the agreement. I implore you to read this. Of course, I've read it at one time. I don't read it every time. Like, I'm definitely not going to read it now. All right. I do not want to install the Bing bar. I'm not a fan of the Bing bar. And let it initialize and let it do whatever it needs to do. Do not hit that cancel button. It's going to take a little bit longer because, as you can see, I am recording this off of Clipchamp, off of the internet. All right. Now that I got all its components ready, click next. Now, as this download, I want to talk about the ROMs once again, as per usual. I will leave a link in the description below to the first tutorial I ever did because it shows you where you can get these ROMs from.
One download later.
And we're finally finished. Click finished. Press OK here. All right. I like to exit out and restart it just so I know that everything works. All right. I did get that prompt. That means everything is working. Input. Now I have a wired controller, a wired Xbox One controller, and so it already recognized everything, but I'm going to redo it for you guys. So you're going to click on it, you're going to go up on the controller. Now, you can either use your analog stick or the D-pad. For the Super Nintendo, I choose to use my D-pad. So, up, left, down, right. Now, for my Xbox One controller buttons, my A button is the Super Nintendo B button, and my X button is the Super Nintendo Y button. So they're flipped. But I'm going to keep it the way my controller says. So my B button is going to be the B button for this, right? The A button is going to be the A button for my controller. Boom. And on down. Y. X. See, it didn't like that. It chose the way the Super Nintendo was, but I didn't want it that way. All right, start, select. As far as the L and R, we're going to do the triggers and not the buttons. So L trigger, R trigger. Sometimes you have to click the button twice. I don't know why it does that. It happens to me all the time. As far as up, left, and all of that, I keep that disabled. We're going to press OK. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to emulation, and then we're going to go to settings. All right. For the directory, that's where your ROMs are. We're going to go to browse. Now, I'd already found where my ROMs are because I've done this before. But if you have it on an external hard drive, you go to your external hard drive, wherever your ROMs are, you click on that particular folder. Don't open the folder, just highlight it like so. Then you press OK. And then the ROMs directory is there. You'll know exactly where to look for the ROMs the moment you go to file. Never hit this high res AVI recording. If you click this button and forget about it, your emulation will be choppy, messed up, and you're not going to know why. And it's not going to tell you either. All right, we're done here. Press OK. All right. As you can see, we created the directory, but it did not populate a list. Now you can hit Control O on your keyboard and it'll take you to where the directory is, or you can go to File, Load Game. You come to the same place as you can see. Now, I am a fan of downloading all of my ROMs individually. A lot of us like to download the ROM sets. I personally am a fan of downloading exactly what I want and nothing else. For those of us who like to download ROM sets, whatever floats your boat, right? I've already had my fun with the Super Joy back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember that. It looks like a Nintendo 64 controller with another controller that looked like the Sega Genesis controller, and it came with a zapper, and it had a multitude of games, 76,000 plus. But we all know it was like 200 games, reskinned, renamed, and all of that. You can't tell me that when you download a ROM set, you come across those types of games. Hey, like I said, whatever floats your boat, different strokes. All right. Let's pick a super game for this Super Nintendo. And I never played this, but this might be the next one on my list for as far as Castlevania. Let's turn this up. All right. Press pause. Press start here. All right, I'm gonna pause this. Now there's some things you can do here. We can go to sound. Me personally, I don't touch anything here. I don't mess with none of this. There's nothing to do really. But if you have another output device, you can output it to something different if you want to. Like I said, I personally don't mess with anything here. What I do is I come over here to video. I do mess with stuff here. At any time, you can press Alt Enter to go to full screen, which I will be doing after this. As far as the maintain aspect ratio, I do not. That looks better to me. Come back to video. As far as bilinear filtering, I'm going to turn this off for now. Ooh, that looks better. Let's go back to video one more time and go to display configuration. All right. As far as the output method is, I prefer to keep my output method to OpenGL. I feel that it's the best performance. The next thing I do, if there's any screen tearing going on, I hit this VSync. The screen tearing is you'll see a line here, a random line that you know should not be a part of the game. Like you'll see this Konami and you'll see a line coming up in here. That's called a screen tear. You want to click the VSync to eliminate that issue. Now, if you want any type of enhancements, you come over here to output image processing. I don't mess with too much here. I usually stick to the BRZ. And I'll show you a difference. The moment you click on one, if you look off to the side, did you see it's smoothed out? I like that. If I want to click this bilinear filtering, let's see if it makes it even more better. It looks like it fuzzed on me. Different strokes for different folks. I kind of prefer it to look like that. And before I go to full screen, I'm going to make this my display resolution, which is 1366 by 768. For one more time, for those of you who don't know where that is, I'll do this one more time. You go to your settings, you go to display, you go to display resolution, and you look at the number that's provided for you. As you can see, 1366 by 768 is my display resolution. And I'll enable triple buffering. I will do it. You don't have to. I really don't have to. Now, if you feel like you have a little bit of input lag, that normally comes with Bluetooth controllers, but it could happen for wired too. You're going to click this. Everything else I leave alone. If you want some frame skipping or shaders, I didn't download any shaders, so I won't be doing that in this particular video. And anything over here, I'll just leave it alone. Everything else, I leave it alone. That's okay. All right. Oh, and unpause this. All right, let's get to playing real quick. This actually looks way better. Oh, Alt Enter. I do like to do that. Ooh, that looks crisp. What do you guys think? All right, it seems to work. Enough of that. Two more things I want to touch bases on. You don't need a BIOS for this at all. As far as the cheats are concerned, I never really utilized the cheats in no way, shape, or form. So if anybody have any information regarding cheats and SNES9X, please let us know in the comment section below so we can share it with the rest of our fam. And as far as net play, you can play this with other people around the world, it seems like. I haven't gotten the chance to utilize this myself. Hopefully, I can come across somebody here on YouTube, possibly one of my YouTube fam, and we can test this out. And I can make another video to show the results of the test. But if anybody have any information preemptively before I try to test this, let us know in the comment section below so we can share it with the rest of the fam. And lastly, unfortunately, I do not know how to support the creators and the developers of this emulator. Unfortunately, I apologize. If anybody has any information regarding that, please let us know in the comment section below so we can share it with the rest of the fam. That's all I got for you for this video. And if anybody out there would like to test out the net play of SNES9X, please let me know in the comment section below so we can get that test going, so I can let the fam know the results of our tests. If you have any questions, comments, or concern, please let me know in the comment section below. Peace be with you. Remember to stay positive. I want to thank everybody who stayed this long to the end of this video. It's greatly appreciated, all the time and support you give my channel at all times. Don't think it doesn't go unnoticed. You'll definitely catch me in the next one. So, peace be with you. Manifest your reality and embrace your dreams.